Hold up, Browns fans, we've got a problem. And it's not the kind of problem you fix with a timeout or a coaching adjustment. Right now, as I'm talking to you, the Cleveland Browns are about to kick off their season without their prized second-round pick. Yeah, you heard that right. Quinshon Judkins, the explosive running back they grabbed at pick 36, the guy who was supposed to revolutionize this ground game, he's not even signed yet. The season starts this Sunday against Cincinnati, and our future backfield star is sitting on the sidelines in a contract limbo that's got everyone scratching their heads. But here's where it gets really messy and why the story is about so much more than just another rookie holdout. This isn't about money. Well, not entirely. This is about a domestic battery arrest from July that's created a legal spider web the Browns can't seem to untangle. And while the prosecutors drop the charges, the NFL's personal conduct policy is lurking in the background like a storm cloud that could derail everything. Let me break this down for you because the details matter and they paint a picture of just how complicated modern NFL business has become. Back on July 12th, Judkins got arrested on a misdemeanor domestic battery charge involving his girlfriend. Now, before you jump to conclusions, the prosecutors came out earlier this month and said he won't face any charges. Legally, he's in the clear. But here's the thing about the NFL, they don't care what the courts say. They have their own rulebook, their own timeline, and their own way of handling these situations. According to NFL insider Mike Florio, and this guy knows his stuff when it comes to contract negotiations, the real issue isn't the legal clearance. It's the language in Judkins' contract that's causing all this drama. See, Judkins wants a fully guaranteed deal, and honestly, who can blame him? Second-round picks are getting these kinds of contracts more and more these days. But here's the catch-22. If he signs that guaranteed deal and then the NFL decides to investigate him under their personal conduct policy, he could be placed on paid leave immediately. That means he gets paid but can't practice, can't play, can't do anything except wait. And here's the real kicker. Standard NFL contracts have this sneaky little provision that voids future guarantees if a player faces suspension or disciplinary action. So even if they give him that guaranteed money up front, it could all disappear the moment Roger Goodell decides to flex the league's disciplinary muscles. The Browns front office is playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers, trying to figure out how to protect both the player and the organization. Think about this from Cleveland's perspective for a second. They invested a high pick in this kid because they saw something special. Judkins has that rare combination of vision and burst that can turn a 3-yard gain into a house call. He's the kind of player who makes offensive coordinators stay up at night, drawing up new plays. But now they're caught between wanting to get him on the field and not wanting to get burned by a contract that could blow up in their faces. Meanwhile, the clock is ticking, and Jerome Ford is probably looking at this situation thinking, well, I guess it's my time to shine. Ford, who's been grinding in Cleveland since 2022, is about to get thrown into the fire as the lead back. This guy's accumulated over 1,300 rushing yards and 7 touchdowns in 2 seasons, doing all the dirty work while everyone was focused on the flashier names. He told reporters this week, "It's different, something I have to get used to, just helping however I can." That's the kind of veteran leadership you want, but it's also a reminder that Ford wasn't supposed to be Plan A this season. Here's what's really frustrating about all this. Even if Judkins signs tomorrow, he's probably not seeing the field on Sunday. The guy hasn't taken a single rep in training camp. He doesn't know the plays, doesn't have chemistry with the offensive line, and hasn't felt the speed of NFL defenses. You can't just throw a rookie into a divisional matchup against Cincinnati and expect magic to happen. That's how you ruin confidence and potentially injure players. But let's zoom out for a second because this Judkins situation is really a symptom of something bigger happening in Cleveland. This team has been building something special over the past few years. They've got Deshaun Watson under center, a receiving core that can stretch the field, and an offensive line that's been quietly doing great work. They're trying to build a championship-caliber roster, and every piece matters. Losing your second-round pick, even temporarily, isn't just about losing one player. It's about losing the depth and versatility that separates good teams from great ones. The Browns coaching staff is staying calm publicly, but they're frustrated privately. They had plans for Judkins, specific packages and formations designed around his skill set. Now they're having to redesign their entire running game philosophy on the fly. Guys like Dylan Sampson and Raheem Sanders are getting opportunities they weren't expecting, which could actually be a blessing in disguise, but it's not ideal when you're trying to establish consistency. And can we talk about the timing for a second? This is happening right as the AFC North is absolutely loaded with talent. Baltimore's got Lamar Jackson doing Lamar Jackson things, Pittsburgh's defense is still nasty, and Cincinnati, well, they're the team Cleveland's facing on Sunday with a potentially depleted backfield. Every game in this division matters, and starting the season with question marks at a key position is not exactly the recipe for success you want. If you're finding this breakdown as fascinating as I am, and you want to stay ahead of every twist and turn in this Browns season, make sure you hit that subscribe button for Browns Breakout. We're going to be tracking every development, every rumor, every practice report that could impact this team's championship aspirations. Your subscription genuinely helps us bring you this level of detailed analysis. So where does this leave us? Right now, it's a waiting game that nobody wanted to play. The Browns are hoping the NFL resolves this quickly and quietly, allowing them to get Judkins signed and integrated into the offense. Judkins is probably working out on his own, staying in shape and studying the playbook, hoping this whole thing blows over. And fans like you are left wondering if this is just another example of Cleveland sports finding creative ways to create drama out of nowhere. Here's my take, and I've been covering this team long enough to have seen every kind of setback imaginable. This situation will get resolved, but it's going to take time. The NFL doesn't rush these personal conduct investigations, even when the legal system has already made its decision. They have their own process, their own timeline, and they're not going to be pressured into fast-tracking anything just because it's inconvenient for one team. But here's what I'm really watching for. How does Jerome Ford perform in this expanded role? If he comes out and dominates against Cincinnati, suddenly the urgency to get Judkins signed diminishes a little bit. If the running game struggles without that dynamic element Judkins was supposed to provide, then the pressure on the front office to find a solution increases exponentially. The other thing to keep an eye on is how this affects future draft strategy. If the Browns get burned by this situation, if they end up losing a significant portion of Judkins' rookie season to league bureaucracy, it might change how they evaluate players with any kind of off-field concerns, no matter how minor they might seem at the time. This story is far from over, and honestly, it's probably going to get more complicated before it gets simpler. The NFL's personal conduct policy is intentionally vague, giving the league maximum flexibility to make decisions based on optics rather than facts. And in a league where public perception drives billion-dollar TV contracts, sometimes the appearance of impropriety is just as damaging as actual wrongdoing. But here's what I know about Cleveland Browns fans. You've been through worse than this, and you'll get through this too. This team has championship-level talent, elite coaching, and an organization that's finally figured out how to build sustainably. One rookie holdout, no matter how frustrating, isn't going to derail what they're trying to accomplish here. Keep your eyes on Sunday's game against the Bengals. Watch how Ford handles the increased workload, see how the offensive line adjusts to life without their expected complementary back, and pay attention to whether Kevin Stefanski can scheme around this temporary limitation. Sometimes the best stories come from overcoming unexpected obstacles, and this Browns team has already proven they know how to do exactly that. The season is just beginning, and this Judkins situation is just the first plot twist in what promises to be another roller coaster ride in Cleveland. But that's why we love this team, right? It's never boring, it's never simple, and it's never predictable. Buckle up, Browns fans. It's going to be one hell of a ride.